Greetings, fellow Earthlings! So, a few weeks ago, I read Spud by John Vanderroot. Apologies for probably pronouncing your name wrong. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a good book. It's funny, and I cried a little bit, and I laughed a lot, and it was just, overall, it was a good book, and I seriously recommend it. And I enjoyed it so much that after that, I went and ordered the rest of the series from the bookshop because I like reading full series and they're really good. On to the point though. So whilst I was reading Spud, I came across a short segment in it in which he answers 20 questions which he writes for himself, as he is an aspiring actor and he feels like people should know these things. So I'm going to use these questions because I'm lazy and answer them for you today. Question 1. What is your name? My name is Jessica Doman. Question 2. What is your age? I am currently 17. Question 3. What is your nickname? Jess. Although, at my friend's 10th birthday party, I attempted to get everyone to call me DJ, which is the backwards of my initials, because I thought it would be really cool. We all had cups and we had our names written on them because they were all identical. And I got her dad to write DJ on my cup. And I went to everyone and I said, look at my cup, everyone call me DJ from now on. And everyone just looked at me and was just like, Jess, you idiot. No, that's stupid. And honestly, I'm glad that they did that because I don't want to be called DJ ever. Yeah. Question 4. What is your date of birth? I was born on the 4th of October 1996. Question 5. What is your star sign? My star sign is Libra, like the lady products. Question 6. What is your favourite food? My favourite food is the ice cream from the gelati shop at Caloundra. It is literally the best thing you will ever taste in your entire life. Like, no ice cream has ever beat how good the gelati from that shop tastes. It's literally like heaven. Question 7. What is your favourite drink? My favourite drink is probably an iced chocolate with a hazelnut shot in it because it literally just tastes like liquid Nutella. It's good. It's so good. Question 8 is what is your favourite film? Currently, although this changes all the time, my favourite film is probably Back to the Future just because it's awesome. It's time travel. Question 9. Who is your favourite actress? My favourite actress at the moment is probably Jennifer Lawrence, just because she's funny. Question 10. Who is your favourite actor? My favourite actor is probably, and has been for a long time, Darren Criss, because 1, he's super mega foxy awesome hot, and 2, he can sing and play the guitar and piano, and I just kind of melt a lot. Question 11. What is your favourite book? I love books, in case you couldn't tell. I have lots of books that are like really high on my list, but one of my all-time favourites would have to be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like, if you haven't read it, go read it. It's like a short read and it's just brilliant. Just read it. Read it. If someone asked me to quote my favourite part from that book, I would literally just read them the entire book because the entire thing is my favourite part. It's that good. Question 12. What is your least favourite book you've ever read? My least favourite book I've ever read would have to be Treasure Island. I didn't even finish it. The first few chapters were okay and I was like, yeah, there's stuff going on and I can understand it. And then they set off on their sea voyage and there was all this weird terminology and I didn't know what was going on, and then suddenly they were on this island fighting a battle and I was like, wait, when did this happen? They're off the boat? What? Huh? What? And then someone died and I was like, wait, huh? And then it was like a battle, but it was like the most boring thing I'd ever read because I was like, dude, this is meant to be action and there's no action. It was literally them like cowering in a shed. I thought it was a shed when I was reading it. I don't know. It's weird. So that's not on my recommends list. Question 13. What is your greatest achievement? My greatest achievement would probably be saving up for an entire year to buy my very first car. The official Crapmobile! Question 14 is what is your favourite sport? I don't really tend to watch sport except for the occasional like football game in State of Origin. So maybe football for watching. But if we're going with playing sport, then my favourite is probably rock climbing. Question 15. What was your most embarrassing moment? My most embarrassing moment would definitely be Year 7 camp. One evening, we had the activity of within our cabin groups to create recyclable Christmas themed fashion. One out of the 3 classes had actually been told to bring recyclables to camp. Because of this, our entire cabin had nothing to use. So we were like scraping together tissues and other weird stuff like that to try and make something. So already our costume was embarrassing. I was picked as the speaker and I had like a little script written down on a piece of paper. I was going to do a cheesy American accent. And when it actually came to the presenting, everyone was being pretty noisy, and it got to the point where one of the teachers just snapped completely and yelled at everyone and like freaked out. I was like, ah! I'd been down the other end of the room, so I'd heard her yelling, but over the noise of everyone else, I hadn't heard her tell us that we were having a minute's silence. I walk up the front ready to start presenting, and the girl who was wearing the fashion piece was standing up there as well. So I'm like, oh yeah, we're ready to go. And then everyone was quiet. I'm like, oh yeah, they're probably just being quiet because the teacher yelled at them and now they're actually shutting up to listen to what we have to say. And so I start the presenting thing, and this teacher just snaps her head and glares at me like I just killed someone. I like froze and I was like, what am I doing? And then she like glared at me and she's like, why are you talking? And I'm like, it's our turn to present, wasn't I meant to go? And then she like full out freaked at me. She's like, no, we're having a minute's silence, now sit down. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I was down the other end of the room and I didn't hear. And then by this point she just goes, oh, how dare you backchat at me? It was literally the most terrifying thing ever. By this time I'm like on the verge of tears, and I go and I sit down, and then she's like, we're starting this minute's silence again because of you. I have to sit there in silence for what felt like a year, on the verge of tears, because I've just been yelled at by a teacher in front of the entire grade. And then to top it off, after this I had to get up and present the thing, acting like I wasn't about to cry. It was humiliating. Question 16 is, what is your funniest moment? One of the funniest moments ever would have to be when me and my brother and my sister and our 4 neighbours all decided to pull the greatest prank of all time. I think it was Louise who came up with the idea. We'd found this dead toad on the road with its guts hanging out. It was disgusting. And me and Louise go grab an ice cream container and some rubber gloves, and we, with the gloves on obviously, pick up this toad and put it in the container, and then we close the lid and we sit it on top of the old freezer that was in the garage. And Mum comes out and she opens the box, and by this time we're down the driveway a bit, and she screams her head off. She's like she's like, ah, ah, ew, ew, ew. And it's the funniest thing. We're all there like pissing ourselves laughing. And then we decide, well, this was such a great idea, let's do it again. So we take the box and we walk it over to the neighbour's house. And we knock on the door and the mum answers. We say, oh, hi, we've got some ice cream for you. And we give her the box and she's like, oh, thanks. She opens it up and just screams her head off. She's like, it's even more than Mum. Like, she flips her pancakes. It is, oh my god, it was hilarious. Best prank I've ever pulled in my entire life. Question 17 is, what are your future plans? Question 18 is, what's something your fans don't know about you? Guys, I know we've been really good friends for a really long time, but there's something that I haven't told you. Question 19 is, who would you most like to be? If we're talking about fictional universes, then I would most like to be the Doctor's companion. If we're talking about the real life, I would most like to be the person who plays the Doctor's companion. Either way, I just want to be the Doctor's companion. Preferably the fictional universe one, because time travel and the TARDIS and the Doctor and just general awesomeness. Yes. Question 20. Who would you most like to meet? I'm gonna have to cheat and say a duo for this because I can't choose one to meet over the other. Deal with it. I would most like to meet Hamish and Andy. That's it. I've answered all 20 questions and I've decided to call this the Spud's 20 questions tag, and I officially tag anyone watching this to do it. So get excited, guys. Goodbye. I will see you all again soon.